Sometimes statues are really big. And with the guy who's obsessed with immature size jokes, and a longtime viewer requested, why don't you make a countdown of the biggest statues? Now this gets a little complicated because first of all, I've done this before. Check out this video from over 5 years ago. Second of all, well obviously the life size are going to win, right? And third, we all know, as I have to remind my wife every night, size doesn't matter.
Give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own.
Hey, thanks for tuning in for another countdown. So I decided to redo this video, and I hate recycling material, but the viewer made a comment that your collection has probably completely changed in the last 5 years, and I thought that's a great point. So with that and the caveats we talked about in the intro, we're not going to do life size. So these are the largest statues I have. Now, how do you determine a statue size? Well, the true method would be to displace it in water so we could get the cubic inches or sometimes even cubic feet. Incredibly hard to do because they jet out in so many different directions. So I kind of combined, not only do I think it's the biggest, but hardest to display. And then I used a really scientific method of eyeballing it. So these are my top 10 biggest statues, hardest to display as determined by me eyeballing it. Got that? Then it got really complicated. I was able to narrow down the list to 10, but how do I put these in order? So while this is a countdown, we're not going to do it in any particular order. If that disappoints you, then you're easy to disappoint. Another thing I have to say to my wife a lot. Anyway, let's get the list going. I do have some coming in. So these, we're going to call these honorable mention because I don't have them yet, but they are on order, and I suspect they would have been near or on this list. So first is this venomized juggernaut. This is going to be huge. I think like 35 inches in its quarter scale. Absolutely monstrous. It's so big I'm actually afraid of where I'm going to put it.
That's what she said.
I promise you that's the only time. This is a post-edit. I realized the Prime 1 new XL 1/3 scale alien dog will probably fall into this. I have the Romulus on order too, so maybe that one as well, but definitely honorable mention. Another one, probably even bigger than that, is this Magneto on Throne. This was a project that was done by a scammer, then a trustworthy guy picked it up. These will come in the next 6 months or so, so it's always a good reason to make sure you've not only subscribed to the channel, but hit that bell notification. Another one coming that I'm afraid I'm going to have to display it without the giant base, because the base makes it huge, is this custom Darkseid on Throne. So I have seen the prototype of it. It's huge. It takes up like 24 inches, so it's about this big. And then yay big. Put it in perspective for you. Two more post-video edits of statues that are coming in, so they're on the honorable mention. The 1/3 scale PCS Ed 209. I think he's like 36 by 36 by 36, so it would certainly fall into that. And surprisingly, this quarter scale Venom, mostly because I believe it's like 40 inches tall with the throne, which is nuts for a quarter scale piece. Another one, mostly due to the hype, so it's tall, is the Howling from PCS. I think this is like 40 inches tall. It's a 3rd scale. This guy is coming hopefully soon. This is one of my most anticipated pieces. And then also in the 3rd scale from Prime 1 Studios, there's Sauron. I have that coming as well. Definitely would make the list, I think. Now, I want to be very clear. These statues, they do have presence. It's all the same amount of presence because they're physically here. But if one's bigger than the other, it's bigger. It doesn't mean it has more presence. I can hear people say height presence. You mean it's tall? Anyway, off that soapbox. All right, so here's my top 10 that are currently in my collection. I think they are the biggest / hardest to display. And I believe if I could dunk them in a huge vat of water, we'd see how much was displaced, and these would truly win. And there's 2 cheats on here, and you'll know what I'm talking about when I get there. First of all, this guy right up there, you can see the bottom of him, the Queen Alien. This one more, I don't know if the displacement of water would happen, but she's so skinny and long and just sticks out in different directions. Like I think she's almost 3 or 4 feet wide and tall. Again, no particular order. The next one was on this list as well last time. I still own it. Iceman. This custom Iceman versus Sentinel hand. Again, just juts out. This one really falls into the harder to display, I would say. Next piece right here. This guy, maybe my heaviest statue. You know, it's funny. I put TikTok, hey, this statue weighs 300 pounds. And so many people saying this guy is a liar. It's like, yeah, because that's something I'd lie about. But of course, I'm talking about XM Studios' Maestro on Throne, and a lot of that is because of all the extra accessories. He actually has 2 bases I don't display him with because they take up so much freaking room. Another one is a diorama, and again, I kind of attribute this a little bit harder to display. There's actually 3 characters on this, but it's Juggernaut versus Colossus. This guy right here, and I think actually Colossus is probably underscaled a little bit compared to other X-Men, so if he was truly the right scale, it'd be even larger. This next one, definitely due to the displayness, because the base is monstrous, especially considering the little pieces you have on it, and I mean these Venomized girls. So from J. Scott Campbell covers, and they actually have 2 torsos too that I have displayed on this giant base with all the musician, the drum sets, and the guitars. But the symbioted ladies definitely want a spot on the countdown. Number 6, again in no particular order, this was probably on the original list. I haven't watched that video because I didn't want to be tainted. There's a joke in there somewhere. But that is Doomsday from Prime 1 Studio. Giant piece. You know, the Devastator, that was kind of a matching companion I had to this, it's actually right here, would have been one too, but someone offered me stupid money for it, so I sold it. A great buyer, actually, that's bought a lot of stuff from me. All right, we're going to get to a cheat. So this is a cheat because it's 2, and in my opinion, these 2 statues, while certainly you could own only one of them, they are so meant to be together. So of course, I mean, not of course, how would you know? ECC, Marcus and Lycan from Underworld. These are 1/3 scale statues. Takes damn near, I'm trying to do the math, like 4 feet to display them properly. So definitely win, and they look so much better facing off against each other. Prime 1 Studios' Joker Dragon. This guy takes up a shitload of room. So, and I also believe it would displace really well in water. So like the cubic inches, the volume of it, if you will, would definitely earn it one of the top non-life-size statues. Next one's a cheat because they're all very similar, but it's any of the 1/3 scale Predator statues from Prime 1. So you can see one over there, you know, you can see the mouth at the top. That one's actually 1/4 scale, but he's like really tall. He's like 10 feet tall in the movie, so he pairs well with the other 1/3 scale. So I have 2 of them right there, and I have more in transit coming right now. I think the Berserker's is the biggest, at least from a height presence. Last one is another throne piece. One of my favorites, actually, is this Thanos on Throne, where he's on his spaceship that he just flies around in the universe. Again, monstrous piece. This is 1/4 scale. Thanos is a monstrous dude, and to capture all of this, just really crazy. That was kind of fun to redo a countdown that's 5 years old, and now the interesting part is I'll have to go back and watch and see if any came over. Like I said, I would bet Doomsday did. I would highly bet that the Iceman did, but otherwise, most of them are probably new. What about you? What's the biggest in your collection that's not life-size? Throw that down in the comments, because... Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Yes, we're still giving away $1,000 statues at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. You have to make sure you're subbed to the channel, you like the video, and then leave a comment. We're going to pick a random comment on a random video and give away those statues. In the meantime, check out some of these other videos and my social media. Talk to you soon. Take care.